You know those things that we do that take up our time, but we don't realize it. And before you know it, an hour is gone, 2 hours are gone. And before you know it, 1 week is gone, 1 year is gone, and you don't know what you did with your time. Well, today I'm here to expose, reveal, and show you those things that waste your time. Inspire Central. Inspire Central. Inspire Central. Inspire Central. Hello, fellow Inspirers. Welcome to Inspire Central. My name is Monica and I'm the Chief Inspirer herself. It's good to have you here with me. My topic for today is how to improve your productivity. 8 time wasters to get rid of. You know those things that we do that take up our time, but we don't realize it. And before you know it, an hour is gone, 2 hours are gone. And before you know it, 1 week is gone, 1 year is gone, and you don't know what you did with your time. Well, today I'm here to expose, reveal, and show you those things that waste your time. The number one on the list is late night movies. You know when you've come back from work and you're pretty tired, you're pretty exhausted, you've had dinner, and you just say to yourself, well, let me lounge a little, let me watch some movies. And then you start watching those movies, and watching those movies, and watching those movies. And before you know it, it is 12 midnight. And you're like, oh, I have to go to work, I think I should sleep. But then you're like, I can't quite sleep at the moment, I'm not yet sleepy. And then you keep watching those movies. And before you know it, you doze off when the movie is still playing. Well, that is one way to waste your time, whether you realize it or not. Late night movies have a way of keeping you up longer than you expected. You tell yourself, let me just watch a movie to while away time. But before you know it, 2 hours are gone, 3 hours are gone, 4 hours are gone, and now you're wide awake. You're not feeling sleepy anymore. Studies have shown that when you want to sleep, when you want to call it a night, you shouldn't watch a movie, because the light from the screen will keep you awake. It will stimulate your mind and make you start to see mental images of what you're watching, and that will make you stay awake even longer. A movie is definitely not a lullaby. So if you want to stop wasting your time, you have to turn off those late night movies. They are doing you no good. They're actually doing you more harm than good. And you cannot start to imagine how much impact they're having on your sleep cycle. The second time waster is movie series marathon. Series. I'm not talking about the ones at night. I'm talking of any time of the day, where you have season 1, season 2, season 3, and each of those seasons has different episodes, so many different episodes, and you're telling yourself, I'm determined to finish season 1 and then I'll start season 2 tomorrow. And then you give yourself this kind of deadline, like it's a serious thing, it's a task, it's a mandate. It's actually not. It's actually not a mandate, it's not a task. It is a time waster. The longer you spend watching those things, the more the time you're wasting. Those series could run for 30 minutes to 45 minutes, some of them 1 hour. That is just one episode. And then you have something like 10 episodes. So let's do the maths. If one episode is 30 minutes and then you have 10 episodes in one season, that is 30 minutes times 10 episodes. That is 300 minutes. That is 5 hours. Wow! 5 hours of your life gone like that, watching movies. Wow! Are you going to be quizzed on those movies? I doubt you will be. So, what have you gained from spending 5 hours of your life that you will never get back watching movies? What have you gained? So, that is a time waster you need to get rid of. Stop watching series. I know these days we have more series than you can imagine. and every day a new one pops up and you want to discover it, you want to explore it. But why don't you explore something else? Why don't you watch instructional videos that can help you grow in different areas of your life? If you want to learn something, you have YouTube. You have several instructional videos, several instructional channels on YouTube. So why don't you watch those videos? Stream those videos and watch them and learn something that you can actually put to use. Something that will be of value and something through which you could actually earn some money. Those series you're watching are just wasting your time and you are never going to get that time back. So it is time to stop watching those series and having series marathon. The third time waster is drinking, taking alcohol as you hang out with friends or even in your house, maybe in the privacy of your home. Do you know what alcohol does to your body? Have you really observed yourself to see the effects of alcohol on you? Well, if you haven't, I'll tell you what alcohol does to you. Alcohol overtasks, burdens your kidneys. It gives your kidneys work to do. It's like a machine. You give it something to do and it keeps churning away and churning away and churning away. That's what alcohol does. Alcohol ages you. Do you know that? It wrinkles your skin. It gives you dry skin. And when you have dry skin, you're likely to start having wrinkles, irrespective of how old you are. Remember that the older you get, the less collagen your skin produces. So alcohol impedes collagen production and makes you start having dry skin, which leads to wrinkles. Alcohol is bad for your weight. You put on tons of weight, especially in your mid-region, in your stomach, and then you start to look overweight and bloated. Alcohol does all that to you. I don't quite see what the advantage is in taking alcohol. Do you know alcohol also makes you dehydrated? Have you ever experienced that? Where you take so much alcohol and then you start to feel very parched, very thirsty, and you're looking for water so seriously. Have you ever had that experience? Well, there's nothing good about taking alcohol. It is a time waster. And if you keep taking it and you take so much, you end up drunk. And when you're drunk, there are several things that could happen. It's either you start to misbehave, you start to talk down on people, start to become very quarrelsome, start to attack people, start to fight unnecessarily, even when no one has done anything to offend you. You start to fight them and attack them. Or for some others, you sleep it off. And some people fight and then sleep it off. But some other people just sleep it off. But either way, whether you're fighting or you're sleeping it off, you're not using your time well. If you're sleeping it off, you have to sleep for so many hours. For the alcohol to wear off you, you have to sleep for several hours. And then you're going to have a hangover. And the next morning you may not be as productive. The next day you may not be as productive. Because your head is banging and you don't know what to do. You start to see stars, you start to feel dizzy. You don't feel like yourself, you feel unwell. You start to throw up and embarrass yourself. It's really not a good picture. I really don't know why people do it. Why do you do it? Why do you take alcohol? There's nothing pretty about it. There's nothing exciting about it. There's nothing interesting or beneficial about taking alcohol. And I wonder why people do it. It is a time waster. That time you're spending drinking it may not be more than 30 minutes. Fine, it looks like that's not wasting time. But then the side effects, the time that it takes for the side effects to wear off is a time that you will never get back, is a time that is wasted. You're sleeping it off, or you are quarreling with everybody. Either way, you're not using your time judiciously, and you're not being productive. Drinking alcohol, getting drunk, getting tipsy, and having a hangover is one of the ways in which you impede or prevent your productivity and your growth. The fourth time waster that I'm going to talk about is clubbing. I know some people like it and they do it every Friday. They do it to burn fat. They do it to, let their hair down and all that. I see where you're coming from. However, if you club every night, if you club every weekend, you're not quite using your time well. If, for instance, you have a job, you work 9 to 5, Mondays to Fridays, what time do you have to build your side hustle? What time do you have to build your relationship with your spouse and your children? What time do you have to do social activities? Of course, social activities that are productive. What time do you have for that? If you spend the whole of Friday night clubbing and you come back home exhausted and spend the whole of Saturday recuperating, Saturday is gone. And then you have Sunday, and then you start to feel the pressure of Monday coming back again, and you're like, whoo, where did the weekend go? Well, the weekend went away while you were sleeping off your clubbing on Saturday. That's where the weekend went. Occasional clubbing, I would say, is not as bad, especially if you're not drinking yourself to stupor. However, if you're clubbing every weekend, if you're clubbing every day, if it's every Friday you're in the club, I don't think it's healthy for you. Where's the time to rest? Where is the time to build relationships? Where is the time for you to be productive and build a life and a hustle for yourself? How do you build your side hustle? What time do you have to build multiple streams of income besides your main job that you work Mondays to Fridays? So if you eliminate the frequent clubbing, if you eliminate the club hopping, you will find more time to be productive. The fifth time waster is gossiping, idle talk, talk that has no purpose, talk that has no benefit. When you're slandering people and saying horrible things about people, or talking about meaningless things that do not add value to you. Gossiping is a very big deal. It's a very major time waster. The thing is that many people do not see it as wasting time. They think they are unwinding. They think they are socializing. They think they are building a relationship with people. They think they are interacting. But you have to ask yourself, what am I talking about? What is the topic? Okay? What does this topic do for me? Is it stimulating my mind? Is it giving me income? Is it helping me develop ideas that I can use to do something useful? What is the topic about? Look critically at it. Ask yourself, am I talking about other people? Am I trying to make other people look bad? If you're trying to make other people look bad, then there's nothing productive about that. If you're discussing what other people have done, it's in the past, it's history. What good will come out of it? Except if you're going to learn something from what they have done or what they have said. But if you're talking about them, if you're castigating them, if you're spreading rumors about them, what are you gaining from that discussion? Nothing. Nothing. You are simply showing that you have too much free time. Now, that free time is something you don't quite have. You don't quite have the free time because you are not being productive when you spend so much time talking about other people. Idle minds and idle hands gossip about people. But people who are busy do not have time to gossip about others. They don't have time to look at what everybody's doing, to poke nose, to analyze, to criticize, to condemn. They don't have time for that. They are busy making something out of their lives. They are busy using their time judiciously. They are busy making something good for the world to appreciate and to use. And they are busy earning a living. And that is what you should be doing. Where's the time to gossip? Why do you want to gossip with people? What do you gain from doing that? How does that improve you as an individual? How does that increase your net worth? How does that improve your network? Because those people you're gossiping with, trust me, they are not your friends. If you gossip with someone, that person can also gossip about you. I mean, why should you be a sacred cow? Why should you be the one they won't gossip about? After all, you participated in it. So, if you can dish it, you should also be able to receive it when it is dished to you. I mean, why not? Okay? So, gossiping is something that you should get off your table. Get it off your plate, get it off your agenda. It's not doing you any good. It is wasting your time. It is preventing you from being productive. And those brain cells that you use to gossip about people, to recall what they said, how they dressed, how they gesticulated, where they went, what they wore, did you see the designer clothes, or did you see that tacky shoe? All that. You could use it to do something. You could use it to create something. Do you know you can use that brain cell that you're wasting on gossiping to create something good, something phenomenal that the world can use? Do you know you can invent something? You've never thought of that. That time you spend gossiping, that time you spend wasting, you can use it to create and invent something useful and put your name down in the sands of time. The sixth time waster is sleeping around. You know what I mean when I say sleeping around? It means having so many sexual partners, having intimate partners all over, not having just one partner, but being intimate with so many different people. That is one way to waste your time. Have you thought of that? You don't think it's one way to waste your time? Well, let me break it down for you. You know, building a relationship takes time. It takes energy. It takes mental capacity. It takes mental resources. You need a lot to date someone. Now imagine that you're dating not just one person, but you're dating two people. It means that you have to share your time, your attention, your focus, your emotions, and sometimes your finances into several ways. You have to satisfy this person and you have to satisfy that person. So that leaves you with what? Little time, little energy. You are exhausted, you're burned out. Now imagine if you double that and you're dating four people. Four people. It means that you have to spend more time on these people. Whether you're a lady dating several guys or you're a guy dating several women, it doesn't matter. Either way, you are splitting your focus, you are splitting your time, you are splitting your emotions. Not just that. If you are dating several people, it means that you don't want them to know that you're dating all of them at the same time. You don't want them to know. So that means that you have to remember this person's name and make sure that you don't mix it up with that person's name, and make sure that you keep the date with this person. You said 7 p.m., you said Tuesday. Okay, this one is Wednesday. In fact, you're going to literally need a diary. You're going to need a calendar where you write everything down and say, okay, I promised this one a wristwatch. The other one is getting perfume. I hope I don't mix it up. Is that not crazy? Is that not something that can just blow your mind? Is that not something that is taking up too much of your time? Are you not investing too much time into doing that? Dating too many people, sleeping around. Why are you doing that? You're doing all that because you want to have what? The attention, the investment in emotions. Okay, you want to diversify. Like somebody diversifying their portfolio, right? It's not stocks, it's not bonds. These are human beings. These are people with emotions and feelings. These are people who are giving you their love genuinely. Some of them may be doing that genuinely and thinking that they are building a relationship with you, only to discover that you don't even care about them. You're just using them for what you can get. You're using them for their emotions, using them for their time, using them for their energy, using them for whatever it is you're using them for. I will not mention that. You know what that is. Why are you doing all that? All that time you spend dodging, hiding your phone, cleaning your chat, deleting messages. Do you know you can put that into having one relationship and also building other areas of your life? Do you know you can do that? Is that too much for you to do? Date one person, stick to the person, have a solid relationship. Focus, concentrate on that person so that you don't have things to hide. You don't have to look for what to hide, what to manipulate, what to protect, what to delete. You don't have to keep making up lies, keep making up excuses. You can concentrate. You can have a clear conscience and know that, yes, you're focused on just this person and you have no skeletons in your cupboard. You can do that. Dating too many people is a time waster. It will waste your youth. It will waste your energy. It will waste your resources. It will waste your emotions. It will waste even your sexual energy. And not just that, it could lead to all sorts of emotional turmoil. It could lead to sexually transmitted diseases. It could lead to unwanted pregnancies. And it could make your life spiral downwards. It is a time waster. Build one relationship and sustain that relationship. Call it quits if it's not working. If it's not working, you call it quits and start another one. But don't double date. Don't triple date. Don't quadruple date. That will take up all your time, all your energy, and that will waste your time. The seventh time waster is pornography. I don't need to explain pornography to you. It's those things that you look at that stimulate your mind and stimulate your loins and makes you want to just jump on the next person and start doing the do with them. Pornography is very powerful, it's very time consuming, and it is mind consuming. You know, one thing about pornography is that you don't just watch it and say, okay, I can turn it off. You can't turn it off. If you keep watching pornography, it starts to replay in your mind. And as it's replaying in your mind, it is getting you aroused. And when you get aroused, you want to do that same thing you have seen in the pornographic magazine or in the pornographic video. You want to duplicate it. You want to emulate it. You want to act it out. You want to carry out that act. And so you then end up having sex with maybe your partner or maybe different people. This leads back to what I was saying about sleeping around. When you're viewing pornography, you are likely to sleep around with multiple partners. The more pornography you view, the more you want to do the same thing, and the more partners you are likely to have. Pornography takes over your mind. The time you could have spent reading, the time you could have spent building a business, the time you could have spent even attending to your job where you are paid, you could spend it watching pornography. And one thing is, you will forget where you are. You will forget what the time is. You will forget who you are. You will forget your responsibilities. And you will just stay there, lock yourself up in a private place, and start to emulate what you have seen in the pornographic video. And before you know it, time is gone. Before you know it, you have got a query at work. Before you know it, you have lost your job. And before you know it, you have lost your spouse, because some marriages have broken up because of pornography. You find people trying to make their spouses emulate what they saw in pornographic videos. These things are not real. They are just like scripted movies. They are scripted. They are acted and reenacted. And for you to think that your spouse, who has a regular life, who has a regular job, who has children to take care of, who has a home to take care of, can reenact those things in the videos, is you being unrealistic. It is you trying to force your spouse to be who they are not. And then before you know, there are cracks in your marriage. And before you know, your life starts to go downhill. And then you wonder, what happened to me? And some people are so involved in pornography for so long, for many years, that they don't know how to break out of it. And they do not see the harm that it has done to them until it is too late. Pornography is such an insidious time waster. You don't realize that it's wasting your time until your time is wasted. So, that is the seventh time waster, and you need to break away from pornography. The eighth and final time waster is hard drugs. You know those drugs, all those things that you sniff, those things you smoke, those things you inhale, those things you lick, those things that are not good for you. You know those things. The smoking, the pipe, and all that. Those things are time wasters. While you may spend just 5 minutes sniffing, smoking, licking, sucking up those things, the effects, just like drinking, the effects take longer to wear off. They take longer to get out of your system, and your body takes a while to recover from them. It's just like a downtime that you don't need, a downtime that is avoidable, a downtime that is unnecessary. By the time you spend a day recovering from taking hard drugs, recovering from smoking, you discover that that day is gone. but then you do it later that same night, and then you recover again the next day is gone, and it is a vicious cycle, a cycle that never ends. You keep recovering. Every time it's recovery time. Every time your body tries to get back to normal, you then inject yourself with that thing. You then smoke that thing. You then inhale that thing again, and your body goes back to a relapse. Your body experiences a relapse, and then when it tries to heal, when it tries to bounce back to normalcy, you smoke and inhale and inject those things again, and then the cycle continues. Do you know that it's easier to stay away from hard drugs than it is to get off hard drugs? It is easier to say no to something you have never tasted than to say no to something that you have tasted, you have liked, and that you have become addicted to. Hard drugs are addictive, very addictive. People have gone to the great beyond from taking hard drugs. So it is better to avoid taking hard drugs, because they do you no good. There is no benefit to taking hard drugs. Even if you feel that you're getting the high out of it, even if you feel that it's making you better, it's making you see things that are not there, you will still come down from cloud 9. And when you come down from cloud 9, those problems you're probably trying to escape from by taking those drugs will still be there. The only thing is that this time, you have given yourself additional problems. The problem of addiction, the problem of having to wean yourself or have other people try to help you be weaned of hard drugs. Hard drugs are very addictive. They are best avoided. Prevention, they say, is better than cure. So stay away from hard drugs. Taking hard drugs is dangerous to your health. It does nothing good for your health. It distorts your life. It disrupts your activities. It is dangerous to your health. There's really nothing good about taking hard drugs. It will waste your time because you're always recovering, always in recovery mode. Your body never fully heals. And then you take more things, you snort more things, inject more things, leak more things, sniff more things. So you are always in recovery mode. That's a time waster. And apart from that, there are so many things you can do, so many negative things that you do when you have taken hard drugs. You no longer know who you are, and you're not in control of yourself anymore. And then you start to do all sorts of horrible things, things that you may live to regret, things that you will wish you could take back. Hard drugs are time wasters. They are not just time wasters, they are life, destiny, and purpose wasters. And our advice, stay away from hard drugs. Prevention is better than cure. Hard drugs are addictive, and it is difficult to get off hard drugs when you get on them in the first place. Also, keep away from friends who take hard drugs, because they are your circle of influence. They can influence you to start taking drugs. And if you say no, they may force you, they may put it in your meals, they may put it in your drink, and so you have to be careful. Keep away from people who take hard drugs, because if you start it, it will be difficult for you to break away. Very, very difficult. Remember that lives have been lost. There are so many people, great artists, great musicians, great people in different areas of life who have lost their lives to hard drugs. Please stay away from people who use hard drugs, and you also stay away from hard drugs. Alright, those are the 10 time wasters. Remember that these are things that impede or prevent your topmost productivity. They stop you from being your very best and achieving the most or making the most out of your day. So do your very best to ensure that you stay away from these 8 time wasters that I have mentioned. They waste your time, and time is something that you can never get back. Alright then, please drop your comments below and tell me what you think about this video and what you have learned. Also, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and also click the notification button so you'll be notified as soon as I update. Do not forget to like and share my videos. Thank you very much for watching to the very end of this video. Don't forget to be an inspiration. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Please subscribe, click the notification button, like this channel, share our videos, and follow us on social media. Thank you very much.
Inspira Central. Inspira Central.